I knocked a couple of doors. Some people used to take these cards. Some people used to say, no, we are sorry, we don't have such openings, and thank you so much for coming. But two experiences, Ahmed, left a mark on my heart. Number one is I went to an office. It was a big office. Two probably European people are working on a laptop, and there was nobody else was there. So I thought, okay, maybe they're the bosses. They're running the company, so maybe they listen to me. I went to one person. I extended my card and I told that this is what I do. He looked at the card and he put it aside and said, okay, thank you. You can go now. Okay. It was happening all the time. So I returned. But while I was returning and just before the door I could open it, he called me again. Excuse me, Farooq. For the fraction of a second, there was a hope. Because I did not earn even a single penny till now. And it's, I think, 2 months past. So I thought at that time, maybe he is going to offer me something. Maybe he realized that there is a job for me, there is a work for me. And I realized even he pays whatever, 100 dirhams, 200 dirhams, 500 dirhams, I would take it. I returned and I saw him. He said, Farooq, don't ever come back here again. I'm not loving my job at all. Every day I go to office and I ask myself what I'm doing here. And the happiest moment of the day is when I leave that office. I was living in a sharing space. Some for the phones, for the calling, because I knew I was going to do something with sales. So phone is mandatory. So I calculated online that, okay, this much for the phone, this much for the living, this much for the food, this much for the travel. So I approximated it 2,500 to 3,000. 9,000, I thought 3 months, inshallah. So I came to Dubai with 9,000 dirhams in my pocket. I think from those 74 people, we grew to 12,000 people in those WhatsApp group in that COVID.
Wow.
And every day I was having 100 plus calls, calling and receiving. Every day I was posting 5-6 posts a day for leads. Probably there was the only company in Dubai who was offering free leads, that was Tablon.
Wow.
And the biggest success I would say for Tablon was that we got the 2 big orders. One was from the president of Guyana.
Wow.
It was referred by a very good friend to me, and we closed it. And the second was from the governor of Poland. They both were coming in Dubai.
Farooq, are you ready to unleash?
I believe so.
What's the percentage?
85.
We will unleash these 15% right now.
Okay, all right.
Farooq, it's a pleasure having you today.
Yeah.
The moment that I met you and I listened to your intriguing story, I got inspired. And the moment also I understand that your story, most probably it's the same like my story, coming out of corporation and deciding to move totally into an entrepreneurship, I'm inspired. Would you mind if you share your great story with the whole world?
I believe, yeah. Let's take it forward to the next level.
Let's.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, starting from corporation, how did you take this decision into the entrepreneurship? And the mic is over to you.
Okay. So good question, Ahmed. My story, I think, in corporate starts from a cabin. My job was planning. And I used to connect sales, operation, production, manufacturing, quality, and all that stuff. All those departments together. But my job was in one cabin. After some time, I realized it's not me who is enjoying this job at all. So one day I went to my boss. I said, sir, I really want to be in this company, but I think I'm more suitable in sales because I want to meet people. So whenever I was sitting in my cubicle or cabin and I used to go to take the tea, and honestly speaking, I used to take 11, 12 cups a day.
Oh my God.
Just to meet friends in the kitchen. So, I thought, no, it's not going to work because it's too much. And I realized I love meeting people at all. So I went to my boss and I said, sir, I have a request. Please, if you can transfer me into the sales operations. He looked at me. He said, okay, Farooq, but unfortunately, I cannot do that. And I asked the reason why. Then he said, Farooq, sales is all about 3 things. And then he became silent. I said, no, come on, tell me at least those 3 things. And by the way, he was a very good boss. He was a very good person and he was a very good salesman as well. He said, Farooq, sales is three things. Number one, sales is all about brand, the credibility, the trust people put on what you are selling. So I was working in a big corporate. Zamil is a very big company. And Zamil has a very well-known brand in Saudi Arabia. So he said, first is brand. So for brand, you cannot do anything at all because it's already established. Number two is connections. I'm not sure if you have enough connections because your job is entirely different. And it's all about connecting and other corporates and finding other people who are looking to buy from you. And third one is cost. And you cannot do anything about cost as well. So for these three reasons, unfortunately, I won't be able to shift you. You can enjoy your cabin. You can enjoy your job.
Stay as you want.
Yeah, stay as you have. What are you doing? And I think you're doing a good job over there. That time I thought, no. Actually, when I was coming back to the cabin, I thought, no, Farooq. Now there was a decision. Whether I take what my boss says as a no, or I change what I'm doing. It was a stable corporate job, 9 to 5. You come to office, you go back to home at the same time. It was not very hectic
Stressful,
job. In my department. It was easy going job. But I wanted to have something with people. So I was just having this concept in mind. And while I was freelancing as well, in after 8 o'clock, so I used to work with some marketing companies too. They used to hire me as a marketing person, and I used to generate leads for them. They said, Farooq, you are generating good leads, but we are not getting results. We are not closing the deals. So we need somebody who can close those deals. So that thing where
Sales.
I wanted to be in sales, and this client who wanted me to be the salesperson, I went on Google, searched sales company in Saudi Arabia, and I find none. And that was the point. I realized, Farooq, you have got your next idea, because I was looking for this idea for approximately 8-9 years, trust me. And it struck into my heart like an arrow. So I thought, now this is the moment. I have to leave the corporate job and start something at my own for another time.
How did you shift from corporate to the entrepreneurial? Tell me this moment. How did you plan it, and what was the spark at that moment?
So when I decided, Ahmed, that I would be leaving my job and I would be starting something at my own, the first person came to my mind was wife, because we were a very happy family living in Saudi Arabia.
Very comfortable, definitely.
Yeah, very comfortable.
Secured,
It was easy going, comfortable. I was like, for example, at exact 6:15 to 6:20, I was at home every single day. So this was the kind of consistency and ease was there, and I was having enough time. So I asked my wife, see, her name is Savera. So I asked Savera, the thing is, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm not going to be successful at all. She asked why, because I said, I'm not loving my job at all. Every day I go to office and I ask myself what I'm doing here. And the happiest moment of the day is when I leave that office. So I told her it's not going to give me good increments because my performance is not up to the mark. I just do what I'm asked to do. I do not innovate. I do not come with the proposals. So this is what gets you promoted in the corporate. So I thought I'll be just very mediocre life. So this is option number one. Option number two, we leave it. I start something at my own. You go back to Pakistan. And I go to Dubai. And I try. I cannot guarantee you anything at all. But I am sure at this moment what I'm doing right now will be mediocre for the whole life. But there is a chance. No guarantees are there. But there is a chance that maybe our life can be something different. She thought about it for a couple of minutes and she said, Farooq, for how much time? I said, okay. Now I must accept it was a lie. I knew for a fact that it's going to take a lot of time, but I thought she would accept 6 months. So I told her 6 months will be not living together. Then she said, you do something here, we will be living here together. But I thought maybe Saudi Arabia is not what I believe the right place for me. I need something vibrant with people, with a lot of frequency, energy, and stuff like this. So after 2-3 months, she accepted. She was not happy. I was not comfortable, but we took this step, and I came to Dubai.
The decision that you took it at that time, did you consider any financial security at that time, or did you plan it in that way? How much coverage that you
Oh
have?
my God.
Yeah, because it's such a decision. I know that there is a nagging voice inside you, and you are just maybe nobody can see what you see at that time, but also from a financial constraint at that time, I think most entrepreneurs, when they took this decision, they think about it a lot, and especially you come from corporate. How did you just plan for it, or it was just one time?
Oh, I mean, the very tough question. And this question sent me back to the same time when I was having this war in my head that what is going to happen. Um, it was tough.
Mhm.
Honestly speaking, I did not have enough savings at all to survive for a year or two in Dubai.
Mhm.
Uh, I'll share the exact numbers. I came to Dubai with 9,000 dirhams in my pocket. That was all I was having.
And the question that you were not forced at that time to move like
Absolutely
that.
not.
You
It
were not
was
forced.
no, not at all.
But
Not at all.
again, what makes you take that decision? You know, when someone like you is in a comfortable life, family is there, taking such a decision with such a constraint, it's not easy. What sparked you to take such a decision?
So Ahmed, to answer this question, I think I should go back to my childhood.
Mhm.
I come from a humble family, and for some reasons, I don't know how and why and where, but I think I made a belief in me that happiness is connected with money. Rich people, people with money are happy. Uh, so I after my engineering in Pakistan, I started my first business, and I ran it for 3-4 years, and I earned a lot of money. But that time, after earning a lot of money, I realized maybe a lot of people would disagree with this, but I think happiness and money is not directly connected. There is no direct connection. It's all about what do you call it? Your inner hunger for success. That's what makes you happy. That's probably what makes you an entrepreneur. In corporate, what was the challenge or the boundaries? In a job, every job, probably most of the jobs are confined by the boundaries, by the set rules. And I was somebody who is not happy with the so-called defined lines, guidelines, that you have to do this, you have to do that. And I always wanted to create something which I can own, which I say that yes, it was created by Farooq. So that hunger of creating something which can help people in some way was always in me. So from my first business till this last business, I have tried 7 times. First time I was successful, then I failed, and every other time I failed. Probably this time I believe it is succeeding. So that hunger of achieving something without boundaries is what has been driving me all the time.
This is very inspiring. Coming back to the 9,000 dirhams,
Yeah.
that Saudi Riyal, I would say, not to the
I converted it and it was 9,100 and something, to be very
9,000
precise.
dirhams. At that time, how much, I would say, based on your expenses, can cover you in that time?
So I made a rough calculation, and I think it was going to be enough for me for 3 months. So that's what I thought. I was living in a sharing space. Some for the phones, for the calling, was I knew I was going to do something in sales. So phone is mandatory. So I calculated online that okay, this much for the phone, this much for the living, this much for the food, this much for the travel. So I approximated it 2,500 to 3,000. 9,000, I thought 3 months, inshallah,
It
I
will
would
work.
get something.
So you were planning to come and find a job in sales in Dubai, right?
Okay,
Or what was your
you know, this is a good question. My family was all, your family doesn't want you to be poor. They advise you all the time, don't start business, don't do something at your own. It's not like they don't want it. They see the probability, and they see the
Success of it.
success is probably less than 5% or maybe less than that. So everybody advised me, please Farooq, you are going to Dubai, okay, this is your call, but please find a job. So I wanted to become the sales consultant of companies. My mission was to knock doors and become the sales consultant. Another sad story starts here, Ahmed. Oh my God, you're sending me to the time which I honestly I don't want to recall, but let's unleash.
Unleashed.
So like every other salesperson, every other person who is looking for a job, I did the exact same thing.
Door to door. Huh?
Yeah, I there was a this crossing in Business Bay, one tower by Omni Art and stuff like that. I think that was that time under construction, but there was a pool on this just right in front of it, and I used to go to such busy places, Bay Square as an example,
Yeah.
Dubai Internet City as an example, where people in the breaks they come out and they meet each other. I was having some kind of like 50-20 CVs in my hand, and I'm ashamed now. I started distributing them. One guy, I still remember a couple of guys, and it was very drastic and disastrous experience. There was a guy who was suited, booted, and pant and tie, and I thought maybe he's a manager or at a good position. So with the CV, he was sitting on the pool, having some dinner, lunch, and I thought, okay, fine, let's go to him.
Speak to him.
And I just went to him, stood 1-2 feet away, and he realized that I wanted to say something. I said, yes, how can I help? Very politely. I said, I actually am looking for a job. This is my CV, so if you can take it.
Why are you asking me? Why are you asking why me? Why?
First, he could not understand what I'm saying.
Why? Yes.
Then, why are you asking me? I said, because, it's...
You already have a suit. You have a suit.
I thought you are having a good position in the company, so maybe you... He said, no, it doesn't work like that. And I'm not into... but he look at the CV, sales executive, sales manager, sales consultant, these kinds of CVs I have made. And he said, no, I'm not working into this department. I work for a financial company. And it's a different experience, different world. Then I went to 2-3 more guys and I knew it's not going to work. Then I came back. The next chance was knocking doors. And I started knocking doors. By that time, Ahmed, I realized that people would not hire me.
Why?
Because people probably, I thought maybe they're not willing to pay a salary. So I thought, okay, now if they're not going to pay the salary, I may become the sales consultant because I was having my own company. I was having my own visa. So I will ask them that I am a sales consultant and you can hire me on a retainer basis. Maybe this was the second time. Now I removed the CVs and I printed those business cards.
A consultant.
Yeah,
no, I'm not looking
sales
for
consultant. Yes. Again, I started with knocking doors. I knocked a couple of doors. Some people used to take these cards. Some people used to say, no, we are sorry, we don't have such openings, and thank you so much for coming. But 2 experiences, Ahmed, left a mark on my heart. Number one is I went to an office. It was a big office. 2 probably European people are working on a laptop, and there was nobody else was there. So I thought, okay, maybe they're the bosses. They're running the company, so maybe they listen to me. I went to one person. I extended my card and I told that this is what I do. He looked at the card and he put it aside and said, okay, thank you. You can go now. Okay. It was happening all the time. So I returned. But while I was returning and just before the door I could open it, he called me again. Excuse me, Farooq. For the fraction of a second, there was a hope. Because I did not earn even a single penny till now. And it's, I think, 2 months past. So I thought at that time, maybe he is going to offer me something. Maybe he realized that there is a job for me. There is a work for me. And I realized even he pays whatever, 100 dirhams, 200 dirhams, 500 dirhams, I would take it. I returned and I saw him. He said, Farooq, don't ever come back here again. Oh my God. Ahmed, you cannot imagine. This was something which I got shattered into a million pieces. I thought, no, Farooq, it was quite insulting. Maybe he was in his mood, but I felt it. It crossed my heart. I could not knock the second door. I went home. I lay down on the bed and I slept. For one day, I could not grasp what to do next, but I gathered the courage again and I started knocking doors again. Now there are again similar experience. Some used to take cards, some used to ignore it. And again, the second and last experience, after which I could not have the courage to knock the doors. I went into an office. It was a nice office. It was in Dubai Internet City. There was a lady. She opened the door, and I gave her my business card and said, "I'm a sales consultant." And she said, "Okay, fine. Let me call somebody." And she called another salesperson. He came to me and said, "Hi, my name is Farooq. My name is XYZ. Farooq, how are you? I'm a sales consultant too. Let's join a meeting." So I went to the meeting room. Then they called another guy. I don't know who was he. He said, "Hi, I'm a sales consultant too." He sat in front of me. So one person, second
Sarcastic.
person, third person. So they called 4 or 5 people in the company and all are smirking and all are, "We are sales consultant and what would you do for us?" It was not nice. Honestly speaking, I felt ashamed. I felt insulted again. Then they called this boy who served the teas and coffee and stuff like that. He entered in the room. In his language, he said, "मैं भी sales करता हूँ. I'm a salesperson too." And he sat on the table as well. And I thought, okay, now I have the tea. I wanted to leave at that time. They said, "Farooq, don't leave. Don't leave. We have somebody else as well." Oh my God. Then they brought somebody who cleans the offices. They brought him from outside and he said the same. In Urdu, मैं भी sales में हूँ. And that time, Ahmed, I thought, now this is over. On the way back, I torn all my business cards and I threw them in the junk and I went home. And I locked myself after that incident. It was tough. It was very tough. So that was the journey of finding some work from what I wanted to do.
What was your self-narrative at that time?
Ahmed, I was thinking I'm not doing something right. Definitely there is a gap. I saw the gap. Because everybody needs sales. But the challenge was everybody was pretending to be a salesperson and people were not comfortable with everybody calling themselves a salesperson. So I thought maybe there is something I am doing wrong. So I locked myself into the room. I committed that I would not leave it unless I find a way. So that's what I was thinking at that time. And then I thought, okay, all right. If they are not, probably this is money which is coming in between. So I will prove them that I'm a good salesperson. So I committed that now I will not ask for any job. I'll not ask for any retainer. I'll work on commissions. So I made 1-2 pages agreement where I would work for you and I will generate leads. I will close them. And I went to an exhibition in Dubai. I think this time it was GITEX was happening. I'm not exactly remembering, but I think it was GITEX. I went to a company, I think it was a Polish company, who was there displaying their tech stuff for hotel management, facility management. And I went to them that I am a sales consultant, but I would work on commissions because I was not having the courage now. Now I was not having the courage to say,
I'll take this amount.
So she agreed. It was the first time somebody greeted me well. It was the first time somebody said yes. So she said, okay, fine. We are looking for somebody like this in Dubai because we are not here. I was very happy. I went to 2-3 other stalls. Now one was a technology app development company. One was this facility management software company. And one was a construction company. So these 3 successful agreements I have signed on commissions. Still, I did not get any money. But still, it was something that is moving.
It's light.
It's light. A ray of light at the end of the tunnel with darkness.
How did you move forward more than this? Because I know that now you are doing something amazing from connecting investors and startups and connecting them. How this idea of Tablon came into your mind? I'm so intrigued to know it.
So Ahmed, the journey, actually, it was, a lot of people say I'm doing what I'm doing by choice. What I am doing, what Farooq is doing, what Tablon is doing, it's not by choice. It's by chance. So I'll explain. It's a small journey. I will explain that how we come to this point, from signing agreements on commissions to connecting investors and founders. So when I started working on commissions, of course I need to generate some sales and close it. The first thing I started doing is sending people emails that I am this, representing this company, and I would do this, and please, let's have a meeting. On LinkedIn, on emails, whatever I was having, I was just blasting this information. I hired a tool. I hired some company. I sent 1.3 million emails.
Oh my God. 3 million?
1.3 million. I got 16 meetings booked.
Out of 1.3 million?
Yes. 16 meetings booked. I think 4 people agreed to meet another time. 2 people or maybe 3 people asked for the proposal, but unfortunately nothing got closed. Okay, now I realize it's not working. Then I started calling people. This is another drastic and devastating experience. Honestly, I could cold call only 7 people. People have different, people, when you cold call here, people have different kind of sarcasm as well. First thing which most of the people say, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you back.
This is the most suitable way, yeah.
But this was a nice way. Some people just hang up the phone. And some which I did not like very much, they put me on a hold. Just hold on a second, they put me on a hold and I'm waiting. 1 minute.
And they will never
respond. They will never respond again. And I'm waiting. And
they just teach
yeah,
you,
absolutely.
They will not call back here.
Absolutely. When people does this kind of stuff, it hurts. It hurts. Otherwise, if you say that, sorry, I'm not interested, that's fine. But if you put somebody, someone is calling, I'm putting you on hold, I'll come back, and they put you on hold and they never come back.
You pay this money as well. You pay the money of this phone just for waiting. You paid for your
absolutely.
Pocket.
So they wanted to teach a lesson on the cost we are bearing. So that time I thought, okay, cold calling is not working. And honestly, that time again there was a dead end for me. What should I do? Sending emails, LinkedIn, cold calling is not working. What to do? Then I realized how many doors I can knock as well, because knocking experience has been terrible as well. But there is no other option. Then I talked to a friend. He said, Farooq, if your people are not listening to you, maybe you can ask people to come to you, because you cannot knock every door. So I said, who would come to Farooq? Who would, if I call somebody, who would actually believe, or who would find a reason to come to me? So he said, this is your job. Find a reason. So meanwhile, somebody recommended me to go to networking events. And they said that, Farooq, start building connection over there. So meanwhile, he said me this, I was doing networking in every free event, because honestly speaking, I was not having money. So any free networking event, I was there. I used to attend 3-4 events a day. And I realized that actually networking is not working for me. Probably I'm an introvert. Whenever I go to a networking event, they give me a glass of juice or some drink. I was having this...
Stay alone,
seeing here and there. Nobody's coming to me and I'm approaching no one. If I have a friend who is accompanying me, we two are coming back alone. I'm an introvert, honestly speaking, and I have to teach myself to be an extrovert. And then I realized, and I attended many networking events. You name it, I was there. Then I realized, then there was one good company who was very organized. I liked their structure, but there was too organized. That you report at 7, you stand for 30 seconds, you pitch and you sit, and then you stand, then you say something, then you sit. And then they asked me that, would you like to join this networking event? I did not tell them that I did not have money, but there was a second thought as well. I told them that actually this environment gives me a feel of a school, and I ran from school for 3-4 times. So probably this is not for me. So I excused them. Then I found that there is a gap in networking. The networking events, there has to be a moderated networking event. And you know what my friend said? I need to find a reason. And what these networking taught me, that these has to be moderated networking events. So I went on meetup.com. Somebody told me, go on meetup.com and start something. I announced an event. I called it Startup Stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, okay, maybe these people will come here. I'll pitch them that I have these 3 agreements and I'll sell them to you and they will buy and at least something will convert. My first event, nobody came. By the way, I have to take loan to pay this subscription for meetup.com for making this group and event. Second event, nobody came. Third event,
It was physical event.
it was physical event. Yes, it was right before COVID. It was just right before COVID, and I'll come to that point as well. So third event, 6 people came,
And how many people were invited at that time?
I was just marketing everybody. I approached like 200, 300, 400 people. So 6 people came and I was very happy. At that time, I forgot about selling them something. Probably the reason was when I saw 6 people came on my request, I was so happy. Trust me, it was probably one of the happiest moment I was having in Dubai at that time. Probably the first or second happiest moment. First was signing an agreement and second was having 6 people on your table on your request. So I said, okay, I'm not sure what is going to happen, but we all will share a story and we will understand who is doing what and if we can help each other. So everybody started sharing the story and trust me, people liked it. Because this was what I was filling the gap into networking events. Nobody asked me, Farooq, what do you do? Nobody asked me, what is your story? And I realized at that event that everybody loves to speak. There is a fear inside, but once that fear is
You need
over,
just to unleash it.
oh my God, they will love you for it. If you let people speak and you just let them finish this, let them cover this or take over the fear they have, they would love you for this. And people loved this first session. We were planned to sit from 5 to 6:30 for 1.5 hours, but we sat there for 9:30.
Oh God.
We were gossiping. Everybody,
6
yes,
people.
absolutely, 6 people. 6 people. One was from Germany, one was from Iran, one was from Portugal. I was from Pakistan. 3 from India, and we are still connected. Honestly, we are still connected. So I thought, okay, fine, it has worked. Then we did second event. From 6, 14 people came. Now we were not a table; it's 3 tables now. Third event, 32 people came.
Oh my God.
I was very happy. I was very happy.
Those people are from the same network. They are telling each other, or just that they are
Both. They
Okay.
are bringing 1%, 2% with them, and I'm also marketing. I'm approaching every single person. So whoever I met into a networking event here and there. So whatever few numbers I got, whatever LinkedIn approach I had, I used all channels. So we used to do once a week, and all week long, honestly, Ahmed, I was doing this from morning till evening, inviting people. So third event, when 32 people came, the room was feels like it's full. I took a picture. I posted it online. It must be available somewhere on Instagram. If somebody scrolls down and down, it was there.
32 people.
32 people, yes. It was a success for me. Honestly, 32 people are coming for you. And I'm nobody. Nobody's buying anything for me. And yes, one thing which I talked to my friend, same friend. I said, okay, now we are having 32 people. He asked a question. Farooq, how many people have bought from you? Your purpose is selling.
Not just networking.
Absolutely. And I thought, oh my God, it's been 2 weeks.
But I love people. I love you. This is my purpose.
I did not think about it. So I said, I have not closed any deal. So he asked, but people are coming. They're coming for some reasons at least. So what they're coming for? They're not coming to listen to you at least. I said, they're coming to talk about themselves. But still, you need to find what they people get out of it. I said, okay, fine. Next time, I'll find out.
Not this time now. These 30 people now.
Yeah. So next time we did, it was like 43 people now. It was increasing all the time. 43.
43.
43 people were there, and I was noticing, and people were talking like something that I am looking for something. Somebody was supplying something, and they were exchanging numbers. And this was something amazing. There was a guy who stood up, shared that I'm this. I'm running a printing company, and I'm looking for a web developer. And the next person who stood up said, I am the web developer.
Oh my God.
So I thought, okay, this is everybody was very happy, and I was very happy too. But the problem was nobody was buying from me.
But what I will get from this, I'm not just gonna. Yes.
So I thought, okay, forget these three. Maybe I can moderate this session, and I can ask for commission if you close a deal within this networking event. I'll take a commission. So the first, and then in the very next event, there was a graphic design company who closed a deal. They came to me and they said, Farooq, I have something for you. It's very small. Please don't feel shy, but you have to take it. Maybe God knew, or they knew I have a very bad condition in money. Financially, I was broke. Honestly, I was borrowing money at that time because that money got finished, whatever I brought. It is a sad moment that I used to borrow the money, but this is how it works. I had a family back in Pakistan. I had my kids. So he paid me 75.5 dirhams as a commission. He said, Farooq, we closed a good deal. We got an order from you, and we know that you are working on commission, so this is the money. And literally it was with 50 fills as well. 75 plus 50. Yes, absolutely. So, and they said, we will do something else for you. I said, fine. And what is that? They said, we'll come back again and we will give it to you. And this is now some things which I felt I'm now doing something right. Next event, it was room full. There was no seat to sit. People were actually standing outside of the room. Startup stories session is happening. And in that session, it was amazing session. I still remember that session. And in that, I signed three, four more agreements with some manpower company, technology companies, and stuff like this. And that guy again came to me and said, Farooq, I wanted to show you. He opened the laptop. He showed me, Farooq, I have made 3 logos for your company. Which one you want to see? So I said, man, I don't have money. He said, no, it's free. It's just complimentary.
You helped me, yeah.
Yes. You helped me, so I wanted to give it to you. So the logo we use today,
this one that you put,
yes,
wow,
on the website is made by that company. I'm still missing them. They're not in Dubai now, but this was the logo made by them.
Amazing.
And I thought maybe this is something which now I'm doing something right, but money was still not there. And while I was trying to figure out how to earn money, how to do stuff like that, COVID said the time coming. I was working in a hotel. And the hotel manager came to me and said, excuse me, sir, very politely. And this is what I love about the way people are very humble when they speak to each other. Sir, you have to leave. I said, what do you mean by leave? I said, actually, it's locked down now. We are locking down at 12 midday. It was 27th of March, 2020, yes. I said, okay, but what should I do then? He said, sir, you should go home because it's a total lockdown. And there was some news. Flights were closed and stuff like that. But I was not believing that they would stop everything at all. So, Ahmed, that was another tough time. On the way back, I was traveling by metro. I was thinking what is going to happen. And there was signs and consistent announcement that metro will be closed as well. And I was not actually believing it at first, because my whole thing was at stake. And meanwhile, I knew from my 6 roommates, 4 left. I was left, and there was another person who was
because of COVID, huh?
Yeah, because of COVID. He was getting a work from home job. But now there was 2 decisions I again have to make. When you are an entrepreneur, there are many times when there are 2 ways in front of you. Many times. Even now, I see 2 ways. This or that. And that decision is very important. And every entrepreneur should take that decision very carefully. For me, that decision was, should I take a break? Or should I just stay here and find something? Now, from my failures in the past, from the experiences I've got, I have realized, Ahmed, that once you step in full. You cannot just take it like half-heartedly. You have to step in, you have to jump in, and you have to jump in full without any guarantees. So I thought, okay, fine. And I told my wife that there are only 2 conditions that I still laugh when we discuss this, that there are only 2 conditions I can leave Dubai. Either Dubai Sheikhs wants me to leave,
Because I will not go.
or God wants me to leave Earth. There is no other choice. Even my visa gets expired, my company gets closed because I have no renewal fee at all. I am not going to leave Dubai unless I start doing something and I leave at my own choice after building something. And that time, this same decision came in front of me, and it was not very hard. For many people, it was hard. For me, it was not very hard, but it was a decision I have to take. But I chose to stay with some loans on me, no money in hand, no networking happening, no commissions, no business at all. I stayed, and I stayed that I probably would find something from here. And COVID hit. We were locked down. We were staying in the room all day long, nothing to do. So this was the time when, for a week, honestly, I did not have an idea what to do. But we had one thing, just one thing I was having, and that was probably the most luckiest moment for us. So I used to make a WhatsApp group with people who used to come to our networking events. They were like approximately 74 people who joined that WhatsApp group out of, I think, 100 something. So I thought, okay, networking is not happening. Maybe these people are there. So I thought, maybe if I can buy and sell online. Online does not mean I go on Amazon and Noon and stuff like that. And online mean I call them online on a Zoom meeting, and then we can actually have a similar call. So I started having them on Zoom, but people did not like it. That's why if you see the word tablon actually came from the word table. Table means sitting on table.
Yeah, physically.
Physical. People did not like it, and we stopped it. But still, that time we have more than 100 people in the WhatsApp group. So I thought of an idea, and that was an idea. That was probably the first idea that made Tablon grow financially and in terms of followers, participants, group members, and all. And the idea was, I started calling everybody in the group. Hi, this is Farooq. How are you? I hope
Separately
everything's
on a
good.
message.
Yeah, in the one-to-one call or WhatsApp or call. I used to prefer calls because now they are buddies. They knew you that you were the organizer. Now they will not put you on hold. So I used to call them in a very nice way. It was not a sales pitch at all. Honestly, I was loving what I was doing, and I was just making the connections warm. So I used to call them, hi Umar, how are you? Hi Muhammad, how are you? Hi Peter, how are you? It's lockdown and everybody's struggling in business. But if you need anything, or if you are selling anything, just let me know. I'll cover you for this. So, okay, fine. Somebody is extending an helping hand. So I am selling this. So if you are selling something, we'll sign an agreement for 10%, 15%, 20%. But if you're buying anything, just let me know. I'll connect you with the best guy, because I know a lot of guys. And now it's COVID, nothing is moving. So you can easily come to me. And that was the time. People, for 1 month, honestly, nothing moved. Nobody called me. I used to make like 20, 30 calls a day. After every 3-4 days, I used to send him a WhatsApp again.
Follow up.
Yes, follow up. I'll share my 5 C's of business as well after some time, what I follow. And I followed those 5 C's very well. And then after 1 month or 25 days, people started calling me. First thing which happened, somebody asked me that, Farooq, actually, I'm looking for a web developer. I need to build a good website, and I need somebody who you know very well. So of course I knew somebody because we were having some good relations. So I called that guy. I said, I have a lead for you, and I did not have a commission agreement with them. So I thought, but I'll give you a lead, but I'll take 30%.
30%.
Of course, no.
It's a new year.
He said, Farooq, 30% is too much, this and that. I said, okay. So we agreed on 25. He said, okay, agreed. I connected both of the guys. Within 2 weeks, they closed a deal. And from that deal, that was the first moment I got my 9,125.
Wow.
This was the first time after, I think, 2-3 months lockdown that I got that 9,000. It was probably the biggest amount of money I had in Dubai, because I came with 9,000 something. I'm not sure why this 9,000 figure is, very matching. So I was very happy. And I paid off the loan. I sent something as a gift to my kids. They were very happy. I thanked my wife for trusting me. And I was happy that I actually closed probably my first decent.
This is the game of networking.
Yeah, this is the game of networking. I believe whatever you are today, whoever, president, prime minister, CEO, richest man on earth, they are there for 3 reasons, I believe. They learned something, they did something, or they met someone. I do not see any fourth option. And if you weigh them all together, meeting people takes a weight of 33% of your success. So that's what I consider. And that success, but that money that came from me was from all these 3, probably the third one. I met someone. I met a buyer, I met a seller. So this was a success for me. And from that time, I started making I used to go on WhatsApp status, right? Website developer is required, construction company is required, X is required, Y is required.
It's working, yeah. It's working.
And exaggerated the price a bit. So if the deal size could be of 5,000, I used to say it's 8,000 or 10,000, so I can attract more people. And I used to post in that WhatsApp group again. So if I posted a construction post and you are a construction company, you would approach me, of course. But if you are not a construction company, but you know some construction company, you would directly forward that WhatsApp to
Another
him.
one, yes. 100%.
And he would come to me, Farooq, I need this lead. I said, okay, fine, sign an agreement. And then it started growing very well. I think from those 74 people, we grew to 12,000 people in those WhatsApp group.
Wow.
In that COVID.
Wow.
And every day I was having 100 plus calls, calling and receiving. Every day I was posting 5-6 posts a day for leads. Probably there was the only company in Dubai who was offering free leads, that was Tablon.
Wow.
We generated in COVID 337 million dirhams leads.
Wow, man, this is amazing.
And we closed approximately 18 point something. I forgot the exact number.
Millions.
We closed, 18 point some millions in leads. The biggest deal we closed was of 8.2 million dirhams.
Wow, man. Wow.
So this was something which I thought,
9,000. You remember the 9,000.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you close the first deal in your life that it's a huge amount? What was your feeling?
The huge amount, now, Ahmed, the challenge is actually not ending in entrepreneurial journey. So the happiest moment for me was that 9,000 dirhams. Then I closed like 4,000, 5,000, sometime 15,000 dirhams leads. We for the commissions, the lead was bigger, 60,000, 100,000. So it was okay. It was good. I was having, but sometimes people, honestly, people forget that what agreement they have made. They stopped receiving your calls. They do not consider you at all that you did something for them. And at that time, I was literally, I was having 8 to 10 meetings a day between buyers and sellers. Trust me, it was, metro resumed again. And I used to travel on metro, and I used to go to the buyer sometimes, used to go to the seller sometimes. And I was sitting in between, connecting them together because I knew both of them. Now the network is very big. I hired my first employee. She was from Nigeria. I still remember I used to offer her 2,500 something. She was happy and she was doing some stuff for me. But the challenge was, as I mentioned, entrepreneurial journey keeps giving you challenges. And challenges are good. If challenges are not coming in your life, it means that you are not going to be great or not going to be good than what you already are. You would be the same. So if challenges are coming, it means that something you are going to learn and some way you are going to grow. So the challenge was that people started forgetting that I was providing them good leads, good deals. And meanwhile, honestly, I moved to some bigger deals. And that was a mistake. I stopped taking small leads because it was a lot of hard work with very small commission.
Pennies, yeah.
So I used to focus on the bigger leads, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, stuff like that. But the challenge was and it took a lot of time for the bigger leads to close. It was not easy. Small leads, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, done. Maybe 1 week. But big leads, months. But I thought, okay, maybe I should take that risk. But this amount that will come would be in maybe more
Will
than
cover you along,
100,000
yeah.
or maybe 200,000 plus.
Mm.
And it would
It's
cover.
worth the effort.
Absolutely, yes. So, meanwhile, whatever I generated through commissions was being spent. And I was almost broke again, but we were having one very big lead. It was of 8 million dirhams plus, and it was almost closed. And I knew it would be closed. It was for a manpower supply, big manpower supply. So when that lead was closed, and the person who used to owe me the money, it was a lot of money. It was nearly 200,000 dirhams. By that time, I did not have any money at all again. Very tough time again, because it was a mistake. I started, rather than hiring an employee and asked her or him to focus on small leads, I used to
Focused on the big.
This was a mistake. I must accept this. This mistake made me poor again. But I was expecting something very big that will cover everything. But the tough moment was that night. I still remember, I used to call that guy. He stopped picking up my phone. So I knew for a fact that something happened because he's not picking up my phone. After 3 weeks of some here and there involving somebody he planned to meet, we met in a cafe. And he started ignoring that, oh, I did not close it. And then I called the guy who was on the second part. There is a buyer and a seller. So he said, yes, we closed it. And, this is the paper. He sent me a photograph that this money will not go to Farooq, and this money will go to Farooq. And he crossed it. He cancelled that term with the buyer, and the buyer paid him the money. And he cancelled this clause out of it. And buyer sent me this, that I have paid the money and this clause was struck by that guy. I don't know. This is between you and him. It was 12 at night. We started almost having a fight, argument. And I said, no, he said this is fake. I don't agree. Then he got offended. I provoked him much. He got offended. He started shouting. I was shouting. And he said, Farooq, I got cash. And this is the cash. And Ahmed, I did not see a huge pile of money ever in my life till now. It was stable and big piles of money. Maybe it was approximately 1 million or maybe less than 1 million. But it was so much. He said, Farooq, I got the money, but I'm not going to pay you anything at all. Oh my God. And this thing was not, could have been easier. But it was very hard for two things. He was very close to me. He was my very good friend. Number two, I was not having money. And he did not have an idea that I was.
And he understand that you were in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was asking him, I was not having any money at all. And he did not have an idea that what kind of pain I will go through if you do this. Probably he was having still he was ignoring. It was 2:00 at night. No money for going back. My landlord was asking for the payment. No money for food. Again, no money for sending to the family. And probably this was the first time I cried in Dubai. I was having on a bench. I was sitting there. I could not go back home. Without any money, I could not do anything. And the biggest pain was money. He earned the money, but he did not give me a penny out of it. And this was probably the 4th or 5th time somebody did this to me. And that night, it was 2nd of May 2021. That time I thought, no, Farooq, you would not work on commissions again. It's not going to help you. So whatever you do, you are not going to do this. I cried that night. I sent a couple of messages to my friends that this happened. And they said, Farooq, we were telling you this is something which is not going to work. So that night was very difficult. I was not crying when I was back home, but my roommate was saying that you were crying when I was sleeping. Maybe I was crying when I was sleeping. So this was the toughest night of my life in Dubai. No money. I came back home, requesting that maybe my roommate can pay for the landlord and my landlord can settle this amount. So this was tough night, and that time I decided not to work on this model again. And that night an incident happened. Somebody sent me a clause from a very famous poet we have in Urdu. So it says that you should burn every single grain of that crop which does not pay you. It was by Iqbal. That you have to burn every single grain which does not pay you. So I thought, okay, now I would not do anything at all which is not paying me upfront. So I thought, okay, I will go to networking again. Whatever happens, COVID is there, whatever is there, because it's my dead end. I would take every risk. They put me on jail. They put the fines because there was a hefty fine of having a gathering. I said, probably now this is a dead end for me. I'm going to die anyway because it's not working. So I would take this risk. So I announced my first networking event, which was proper networking, paid networking event on 29th of May 2021. And I announced it in COVID, when COVID restrictions were there. It was not good to do this. A lot of people said, Farooq, don't advertise it, but I did. I shouldn't have done that, but I did not have any choice. And the lucky part was on 28th of May 2021, I still remember the dates.
After 3 days.
Just one day before the event was about to happen, government made an announcement that now you can gather with 7 people sitting on a table. And probably I was the first person having this networking done.
Wow.
So I still remember 28 people came. I charged 100 dirhams each. The sad part was I was having approximately 1,200 agreements on commissions with 1,200 companies. Nobody from that side came. The people who were taking free leads from me on a commission, they were not willing to pay 100 dirham for a networking event where I used to connect buyers and sellers. I did that. I'm very thankful to Workbay. Workbay is a co-working space near Burjuman. And I'm very thankful to them because they offered a free space for this. They offered that, yes, you can have snacks, you can have drinks, you can enjoy the space, but we want startups to be there. So I said, okay, fine, we have startups.
I'll bring you.
So I brought 28 startups. I got paid 2,800 dirhams. And again, it was something I felt good about. But I was having one small fear. The only thing was people are owing me money in hundreds of thousands or maybe tens of thousands. But now I'm again charging from 100 dirhams. So I restarted again. And I must convey anybody who is an entrepreneur, nobody should worry about restarting again. Probably there are a couple of times when you have to restart from zero. You have to restart from zero. People should not be worried about this. If you're restarting from zero, probably it's going to be better than what you are already doing.
Because you learned a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. You learn something.
Yeah,
you meet someone.
You met someone. Yeah. This is amazing, man. Farooq, can you tell me, did you face any struggle in your life that you will always have it in your memory?
So, Ahmed, a couple of them are there, but the most which actually caused me and my family to move out of the country was the one which hit me quite hard. The journey started. The story started from the last startup which unfortunately failed. It was Telworld. And we were trying to build something, a location-based Twitter. So when you open an app, you find a map. On the map, you select a location, and you want to hear the news from the people directly within that location. Because I was not very comfortable with third-party news agencies who manufacture the news, who twist the news, and then they present for probably their own financial good or for some other reasons. So I wanted to build something authentic, just like Twitter, but location-based. So I made this app after a lot of hard works and tech setbacks and redevelopment. So when it got made, I was not having any marketing spend. So I realized by that time, it's not about making a product. It's about selling
marketing.
it. Yeah. It's about marketing it.
Mhm.
It's about selling it. So we made a location-based news app, but we did not have enough budgets to market it on a country level in different countries. So we reshifted the concept to the malls.
Mhm.
And I was living in that country. I thought, okay, people who are interested in that mall, they can just select on map and can get all the latest offers which are being offered directly by the shopkeepers over there. So shop owners can directly post on the app and you will directly get it on your feed. This was the concept. So I went to a mall. I started distributing these, and I was doing a job by that
By
time.
yourself.
Yeah. It was by myself. So I was having this corporate job from 9 to 5, and from 6 till 11, sometimes 12, till the time malls are open. I used to distribute those flyers that this is an app which you can use half Arabic, half English, and I used to distribute within the shops. So the tough part you asked was I was distributing these flyers into a mall, and there was security guard who just noticed, and he came to me. He said in Arabic, partly English, what are you doing? I said, I'm distributing these flyers. He said, okay, in Arabic, I think G Bikama. So he asked for the Ikama. He said, you're Muhandis Mashru. Anta Muhandis Mashru. Why you are doing this stuff? And you cannot do this. This is marketing, or I don't know what do you call it. This is marketing. There was a word. So he said, okay, fine. So what should I do? He said, you cannot do that. And I thought, okay, but can I distribute 10 more? And he got offended. He called, he said that I'm calling police. And he called the police. And I don't know, it was my bad luck or something. The police was just standing outside of the mall gate.
They came quickly.
I have never seen police coming in less than a minute.
It's in GTA only,
So the police came and the situation got tougher. The police came, he mentioned something in Arabic. I did not understand what he's saying, and he just grabbed my hand and he said, okay, I'll put you in jail. I did not trust it. I said, maybe he's just trying to. And then we sat in his Jeep, and he literally put me in the prison for some time. And the thing which I was doing wrong, I was just distributing the flyers. And that time I thought, oh my God, it's something which I never thought about it, honestly. Nobody can imagine going to jail or prison for.
And you were still in your corporate job at that time.
Yeah, I was doing a job, and I was literally thinking who to call now. Then I started begging. Literally, I was starting crying, begging, apologizing, whatever I could mutter in Arabic or English. Then they said, okay, you can go, but don't do it again. That was the first hard experience which struck me very hard. And now whenever there is a startup, there is an entrepreneur, there is a new company, there is always a challenge of egg and hen problem. That if you go to the buyers, they will ask you who are the sellers. And if you go to the sellers, they will ask who are the buyers or how many buyers. So I was having only the sellers part partly covered. I still used to go to the buyers to distribute that flyer and bring them on the app, which I did not have courage, because they threatened me in a way that they made sure I would not do it again. And I realized it's so tough doing marketing in this city. So I thought, okay, maybe I cannot do business here. This was the one tough experience. Then the second experience happened after a couple of days. Maybe nature wanted me to learn something. I'm a big lover of this fish burger. If somebody did not try it, Popeyes is makes very nice big fish burgers. So I used to go to that shop. Similar, I went one evening there, and before I could, there was a guy who was ordering something, and I was waiting. So he finished his order, and I went on the counter, and the moment I went on the counter, something struck me very hard on this arm. So hard that I fell approximately 5 feet, 6 feet away from that thing. And I realized suddenly something happened. I did not know what happened. And I realized at the time, if something pushes you so hard, you get blind for 2-3 seconds. And I did not see anything at all. And after some time, I started seeing, and I could not understand what is happening. And there was a guy who was mentioning something in Arabic that I did not understand, but he was very aggressive. And I did not understand what happened. Why did he push me? So he started placing some orders to the Popeye's counter, and the guy got offended as well. The guy who was delivering orders, he said, so whatever he used to mention that I want this sandwich, I want this shawarma, this burger, he said, no, we are all finished. And then he started calling his names as well, and he went. He left the shop. I just went to this counter. I said, why? Do you know what happened? He said, actually, before you came, the guy was here and he was sitting back on the bench. So I just looked at the bench, and there was a bench. And I did not see him. So I thought maybe when this first guy would leave, I would place the order. But before I placed the order, this guy came and he pushed me so hard. So I said, but he could have
told you something. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. He could have said that this is my turn, I'm waiting. I did not see him. But he did not do it. And I thought, maybe it's something they like.
It's two situations.
Yeah, two situations. The third one is coming, by the way, in the same city. Yeah. So, in this, then the third experience, and it was again. I went home. I literally there was a pain for 2 months, and it was very hard to move this. I did not tell my brother or wife or anybody about this incident. Maybe after some months, I shared it with some people. Then the third one, when I decided that I would not live in this country anymore, because it was on a personal level, on one-to-one level. The third one was I went to make a license, driving license, because I thought, okay, now I should apply for it. And somebody told that if you are going for a driving test, you should go early in the morning, right after prayer, so you can just finish the test and go to your job after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Because if you do not go to your job, again, the salary will be deducted and stuff like this. So I thought, okay, fine. I woke up at Fajr prayer. I offered the prayer within the driving center, so I can be probably the first guy to be in the queue. So after the prayer, I went there. I showed that this is my learning permit and I want to give the test. He said, fine, you can have a seat. There was, it wasn't, again, an Arabic guy. So I started waiting on the queue. I was the third person. After some time, people started coming. And he said me that you should sit on the back bench. The bench is just behind this lane.
You just wait for your turn.
Yes. So I went there. Then again, he came to me after 1 hour. Now it's around 6. I went there at 4:30. Now it's 6. The test used to start at 7. So he said me that you have to sit again on the last bench. I said, okay, fine, I'll sit. Whenever my turn will come, I'll just go. Now he started at 7 o'clock there. He started calling name. First name, second name, third name. And I was seeing the people who came to me were just around me. They're not moving at all.
They came after you.
Yes. And the people who came before me are sitting again, just besides me. He's not calling anyone's name. I went to him. I said, man, I was the third number. He said, no. The first turn will be for Saudis. The second turn will be for Arabs. And then this Pakistani, Indian, and all other countries come. And I was like, it was injustice. It was injustice. And that time, with those two experiences, I thought, no, it's time to move. It's not the country which I want to live in.
Plus the one that you have it also with your manager, right? The manager, when he told you that I need to move for sales.
Yeah.
The sales one.
Yeah, it was back in mind. Ahmed, these are plans by nature. Tough, maybe. Very tough, maybe. But nature plans everything. So everything, this sales thing, the manager thing, and these incidents all combined.
Signals. Yeah. But it's all about how you understand the signals. Maybe there is something better somewhere. Maybe it's something like that.
It's tough. I think somebody has to learn it, and entrepreneurs need to learn how to catch the signals. But because if they do not, it's going to be a lot of time wastage. For me, something you feel from the inside, it's enough. I'm done. So with all these things, with all these incidents, maybe I could have been doing business in that country now as well. But with these incidents, I said no. And then I started searching for a country. Either I was going to Pakistan or I was going to somewhere else. Then I think Dubai positioned itself very well, I would say. I must congratulate the government, the marketing agencies over there. They portray themselves in a very nice way. And the best part is when you come to Dubai, you don't get disappointed. Like you can open your license within a week. Probably now you can do in a day. All the stuff, it's so easy. It's all online. It's very friendly. It's very systematic. And I thought that Dubai is the place where I am going to live now. And I made that plan not for just 1 year. I made that plan for life. So I came here with a plan, with a mindset that what you say, either Sheikh or God, otherwise I'm going to stay in Dubai. But the good part is that country is now, I think, changing. They are making out good progress. I am seeing a lot of people are moving over there. They're loving it. So I think they have realized these kinds of small mistakes, which used to make a big impact. They have realized, and probably they're making it user-friendly, business-friendly, people-friendly country. And I would try to explore it again. But that time, I think it was the right decision to make.
Everything happened for a reason, man. The question now that I want to ask you, what is your vision about Tablon? Where do you want to take it?
So, Ahmed, before I answer this question, should I explain like how from this networking thing to
Feel free.
investor journey we came? So, I think we ended up in a session where we were doing networking. Again, after COVID, the networking started growing again. Now it's paid networking. It's not free networking. And I must add one more thing here. When I mentioned that the first networking was in Burjaman or in Dera side. I went to a guy. I invited him to be into our events. He said, Farooq, where are you doing this event? I said, in Dera. He said, I'm sorry. I would never come to your event. I said, and why is that? He said, because I do not want to go on that side. It's not what suits me. I was silent. I said, okay. And entrepreneurs have a grit. When you challenge that grit, they want to prove it. And from that co-working space, I thought next event I would be doing in a 5-star. Whether you come or you don't come. I hired a 5-star. It was in Hilton, the second event. It was second Startup Stories. No, it's not Startup Stories. It's called Business Stories because we have extended a bit. I booked a 5-star. I paid the price, whatever I have, partly from what I have earned from this event. And 50% I agreed them that I would pay on the event day. And I started marketing it. Trust me, my legs were like trembling most of the time because people are not coming. Because if people are not coming, people are not paying, how would I pay that rest of the 50%? Because I did not have enough money. But I thought, no, Farooq,
I'll do it.
From now on, you would never do any event in less than a 5-star hotel. Because someone said that he would not come to your event because you are not doing a standardized event, maybe. Or it's not a nice place. So from that time, this was the first time my legs kept trembling. Trust me, because now you go to
gambling and everything.
Absolutely. And again, it was 2 ways. You have to keep doing what you're doing, or you have to change it.
God or Sheikh.
God or Sheikh. Nice. You have named it very nicely. So it was again a very successful event. At that event, I still remember 64 paid people came. It was a good more than 10,000 dirhams revenue for me. This was the first time I did an event with a 10,000 plus revenue. Then I never looked back. It was from that point till Alhamdulillah today, all of these events are happening in a 5-star hotel. I'm not choosing 5-star now for that thing which happened,
Mm.
but I think 5-star also give you a nice ambience,
Mhm.
good service,
Mhm.
good area, good ballrooms, and people like it. So
Mhm.
it's for the people.
Mhm.
But for that time,
You took it as a challenge. I'm an
took it as
entrepreneur.
yes.
I will not
I
prove
would do
anyone,
it.
but I will do it.
I would do it. I would do it. From those networking events, we started doing those paid events. Alhamdulillah, it started growing. And the biggest success I would say for Tablon was that we got the two big orders. One was from the president of Guyana.
Wow.
It was referred by a very good friend to me,
Mhm.
and we closed it. And the second was from the governor of Poland. They both were coming
Mhm.
in Dubai.
Mhm.
It was during Expo.
Mhm.
They wanted to do an event, and people referred Tablon because of those
Wow.
networking events we were doing.
Wow.
They have the business community. They have such nice people, and they do at nice places, so they have good experience. They saw our videos. So maybe a good part of our business is we shoot a video of most of the events and we put it on YouTube.
Mhm.
So they liked it very much. They said, now we want to work with you.
Mhm.
And it was a very, very, very good
Wow.
money for us. It was a lot of money. I did not imagine that I would earn it within a month. And Alhamdulillah, I
Mashallah.
earned it.
Mashallah.
And that time I made the decision that I would call my family in Dubai now. Because that
It
time
will
was,
come back.
yes.
How many years?
Yes.
Because you promised it will be after 6 months. Almost.
It was after, it's like 3.5 years, I would say.
Mm.
3.5 years. I told them that now I'm calling you to Dubai and be ready, and they were very happy.
What were their feelings exactly?
Very happy. My eldest daughter, she is now 11.
Mashallah.
She was, I think, at 10 years, 1 year, 1.5 years back when I called them, and she was very excited because she was the closest to me. So it was the happiest moment for all. It was probably, I would say, the first biggest milestone Tablon has achieved.
Are you proud of yourself?
I believe so. Yes. Something about entrepreneurs. Maybe something about me. I'm not sure about a lot of entrepreneurs. I always look at the value we are trying to deliver to the world. And probably myself, I'm more proud on that value than myself. I put myself on the second, and probably that night, Ahmed, I still remember that night. That was the easiest night for me to sleep. When they paid for this whole event, I was having a lot of money in my bank account, and I was paying all the loans. I was calling my family. I was having good plans, and that was so comfortable night that I did something. I provided, and they were very happy. Both of the clients were very happy. So this was the moment, and so this was the networking peak. Then along the way, we realized that networking is growing, but maybe a lot of people are not finding
the values.
Yeah,
The
the
values.
value,
The
yeah.
values. If you bring
Yeah,
values
yeah,
from both sides, it definitely will work. What's the legacy that you want to leave behind you?
I call it a vision. When I was 10 years back, I was not very, very comfortable or very. I could not understand the meaning of the mission or a vision or stuff like this. But quite recently, I started seeing it. So the vision I see a problem, Ahmed. A lot of I'm a founder. I know the challenges, the two ways you see along the way, the pains. It's not only of any founder. It's probably most of the founders having similar, less or more the same pains. I know the pains of the founder. And I know for a fact that the biggest two pains of a founder are either finding a buyer or finding an investor. So a year back, we pivoted our business model that we want to help them on the second part. We want to help founders meet investors. If you go on a website, there is a story. Founders, like for example, including myself, you send an email, you cold call, you knock, and I have experienced everything and nothing works. And finding investors is the toughest part. So I took this challenge that I would give this ease to the founders that and now this is the legacy I want to leave behind, that I believe there should be a platform which we are looking to build that any founder can book a meeting with an investor in less than 30 seconds. And we want to be the number one choice for founders to meet investors. And we want to leave this legacy behind, that any founder who is looking to meet investors can go to a platform, click a button, within 30 seconds, he can have the best match with an investor. So this is what we are looking for.
This is very inspiring, Farooq. Farooq, really, it's an inspiring story, unleashing a lot of values today. It's really inspiring. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure also with your great energy and great vibes, you will take Tableau to the next level, man. Thank you for coming here today, and definitely we'll see you better and better and better.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you so much. It was very fun time with you. You have sent me back to the past, and I think now I came to recall some sad stories, some good stories, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much.
Unleash is the bridge between my purpose and my mission. And my mission is
Unleashing the human greatness to its utmost potential.